Good evening everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video we are going to be doing the Q&A video that I announced last week. It's 3 or 4 days since I made the announcement that we were going to make the video, and yeah, we're going to attempt to do it today. Just as I'm going along feeding the cattle, I'll maybe pick out a few comments as I'm going along, answer them as I'm maybe in the 2850 discharging out the feed. I'll answer a few when I'm filling the feed, or whatever way it works out, and we'll see if we can get some of them answered. Hopefully your comment is picked out, because there was a lot of comments made over the last few days, so thank you for that as always. It's 1st of January now, 2020, so we've made it into 2020. Hope you all had a very nice New Year's Eve last night, and I did wish everybody all the best on a few different platforms last night, but I'll just reiterate that today. Just wish you all the best in the new year. Hope all your plans, dreams and desires all come true this year, and hopefully we'll be able to make a few more videos this year and entertain you a little bit more, because your support over the last few years has been fantastic, and without it we wouldn't be here doing this. So anyway, we'll continue on. I'm going to get cracking and get the feeder filled, and as I say, we'll pick out a few questions as we go along and try and get them answered. So let's get going on these questions. So as I say, I'm just flicking through them here now. I'm going to pick out a few straight direct off the phone. So the first one is from Sam Nielsen. What was the first John Deere tractor you guys bought? First John Deere tractor that we ever purchased was the 2130, a John Deere 2130, 1978, and it is the same tractor that we are actually in the process of restoring. So now there hasn't been, a lot of people have been asking me about this over the last number of days. The 2130, nothing has been done on it for about 18 months. We were to start working on it last year, and we ended up doing the 2850 instead. So that work will continue with the 2130. We'll hopefully maybe get going on it again after Christmas. I must do an update video on just everything that was done, kind of like a refresh video. It'd be a bit of a refresh even for myself, because it's just hard to remember. It's that long ago now, all the stuff that we've done to it. But yeah, we'll do a bit of a video on that maybe over the coming days, and dig it out, and maybe it might push us into starting to do a little bit of work on it now after Christmas. But that was the first John Deere we had, 1978 John Deere 2130 with a Duncan cab. It was purchased by my grandfather back in 1982, so we always had John Deere's here as long as I can remember, and it was the first one. So, and it was the main tractor here until 1999 actually, until we purchased the 2850. So yeah, that's kind of the way it was. Anyway, question number 2 we look for now. So question number 2 is from first name, last name is the name of the guy who asked the question, and it's: how many acres do you farm, and would you ever consider doing anything other than beef? How many acres do we farm? Well, our acreage actually is down quite a bit. In 2018 we were farming, I think it was around 420 acres in total. We had a couple of farms then that we lost for 2019, so our acreage dropped down. I think we're about 260 or 70 now, in around that. We lost 100 acres. We had 100 acres of what was IDA ground, which we had for 3 years in total, and they took it back for the 3rd year because they were going to start building on it. So they actually refunded us the money, even though we'd used it for the most of that year. But they took it back from us then. There's a Chinese factory has been built on it. It was a fantastic farm, just on the south side of Dundalk, and it was a real shame to see it being all dozed up and being built on. Huge factory. It's going to employ 500 people or something. So yeah, that was that, and then we ended up losing. Then we had a golf course here beside us, former golf course. You might have heard me in it talking about it before a few times. We lost it too, so it was probably about, I think there was about 60 acres in it in total. We did gain it, we gained then about 25 acres, which kind of offset a little bit of it, but I think it's around, I'd have to do a count on it, I think it's around 260 or 70 acres we're farming, which is, it's plenty. The larger farm up the Dublin Road, we ended up, you could only cut it, so you could either cut silage of it or you could cut hay of it, and we cut hay of it and then we'd make some round bales of silage then a little bit later on, so it was no good for grazing, you could never plough it or anything like that, so which it left it that you were limited to what you could do with it. It wasn't mad money, and you could make a few quid out of it even by making the hay of it and selling the hay, but yeah, that's just the way it worked out. So that's roughly what we're farming. The other part of that question then was, would we ever do anything other than beef? Of course we would. If there was money in it and it was feasible to get into it, we'd have no problem giving it a go. So it just depends. It depends what you'd be talking about. But yeah, that's really it. So we'll see now if we get question number 3. So question number 3 is from Morris Cahill. Morris is asking, the question is, Jerry, what for you after Brexit, and what's the master plan for the future? And oh yeah, a TM320 or a TM420 after Brexit? Well, that's still very much up in the air. I wouldn't like to just predict too much on that yet. I'd be hoping that beef prices might settle down after Brexit, and that they wouldn't be just so volatile. We're kind of being used at the minute as Brexit's been used as the scapegoat for cheap beef prices, and the fact that the sterling too isn't at a fantastic rate to the euro, or isn't as the euro has strengthened against the sterling over the past while. So yeah, Brexit was better settled down, and after that then we could maybe see where we were going a little bit better with beef prices and all, and prices of everything really. So they're using it to even beat down the prices of grain and all farming produce. So yeah, I'd like to see Brexit finish with. The other question you asked was, oh yeah, the JCB TM320 or TM420. I'd actually like to try. I'd like to try both. There's not much difference, I think, size-wise. I think the TM420 is maybe about, is it 4 inches bigger, 4 inches taller and 6 inches longer or something like that. But same, I think they're the same width, like for driving on the road. But it has a bigger lift capacity, the 420 obviously. I'd like to drive them and just see. Probably the 420 would be closer to the capabilities of this teleporter here, even though it may not be just manoeuvrable. But yeah, I really would like to drive them and see what they're like. I'd like to drive both before I'd make the choice. Okay, so we move on to the next question. So we've changed machine now. We are now moved into the 2850. Next question is from Callum Burke. What is your favourite tractor and why? Well, you can answer that 2 ways. The favourite tractor that we own at the moment, probably the 2850. It's the only one of the tractors that we have that we wouldn't sell. We'd probably sell all others if we wanted to change or to get a different tractor. So that probably answers that. My favourite tractor of all time, then on the other side of that question, would be the 3650. I would love a 3650, and probably at some point we will buy one and get one into the farm. Love a 3650, a bit heavier than the 2850. You know, you could use them for drawing silage, for mowing, fertilizer. I'd use them for an array of different jobs. So 40k, big step, 3650 would be my favourite tractor, I suppose, overall. So next question is from John Elverson, I think is how you pronounce it, and his question is, Do you run the farm alone or with somebody else? John, I don't run it alone. I run it with my father. He's probably we're the main two people on the farm doing the majority of the work. And then we have a helping hand from time to time from both my brother Ben, who, well, he works away off the farm. He has a full-time job, but if we were doing silage or maybe walking at hay, square bales, straw, things like that, Ben usually makes himself available if he's around then to give a wee bit of a helping hand. And then the other help that I have as well is we have my cousin Peter, who also does some farming. He comes and gives a helping hand when needed on those jobs too. So, or you might see Peter too for those after doing some of the work on the cattle videos. Yeah, so he comes and gives a hand, and vice versa. Then, if he needs a hand with something on his farm, then maybe we'll help him out, or we'll make hay from, or you know, we work with each other in certain ways that way. So now on to the next question. It is from Keeper Choppin. Hi Terry, whatever happened to the other John Deere you were restoring in some of your earlier videos? It was a 2130. I always wondered what happened to it. Thanks, Richard. Love the channel, by the way. Richard, as I mentioned in one of the earlier videos, just didn't get back around to doing any work to it over the last while. As I said, we were working at the 2850 and other things. So, but it is on the cards to get back to it. So watch this space. There will be more videos coming. What else are we going to get? Could you show some of your recording gear, mounts, etc.? Thanks, Jerry. And that is from Emmett Manning. Okay, Emmett, I will do a video on some of the recording stuff that I use and what I have. I'll do that in some of the videos coming up soon. Another one from last name, or first name, last name. And his question is, how's the baby, and are you all into the new house? Yes, the baby is doing very well. George is 6.5 weeks old now and doing very good. And we are in the house. We're in the house now about, I think about, when did we move in? Sometime in, I don't even know the date. It was sometime in October anyway, but yeah, everything is going good on that front. So we've moved back into the teleporter as we continue to fill the feed up. We'll move on now to the next question. O'Donoghue Agri Videos, and he asked, how many acres do you have? How much do you farm? And would you buy a track machine stroke digger to reclaim some more land in the future? Well, we own just over 60 acres of our own, and we don't have a massive farm of our own, unfortunately. And then the rest of that, we're farming roughly around about 260 acres, 270 acres. So yeah, we're renting about 200 acres as well, which is a fairly hefty land rental bill every year. But yeah, that's kind of the way we are operating. What was the other question you asked? Oh yeah, track machine. Yes, if we ended up purchasing another bit of land that required quite a bit of reclaiming work, yes, I probably would actually go out and purchase a track machine, even if there was any substantial bit of work needed done on it. Because if you needed the track machine for 2 or 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks work, and offset the price that you have to pay to hire a track machine for that length of time, then yeah, you'll probably better buy one, do your work, and then even sell it. You know, like, it's not going to depreciate that awfully much. If you can get a decent one at a reasonable price, use it, and then sell it on, you know, you're not going to lose that awfully much money on it. So yeah, it is. It's something that we certainly would consider in the future. Yeah, so see what the next question is. So we're just grabbing a couple of bales of hay. I have to take these down to the cows on the out farm. We're feeding them some dry feed, either hay or straw, along with the bales of silage, just to help them to keep them right. So keep the videos going. Mark Aspel, is it? Aspel. Mark Aspel. Would you do a tour of the machinery shed? I will do a tour of the machinery shed. I'll maybe do a machinery tour now over the next week or so. We're threatening to do that, so it'll be an excuse maybe to sweep out the machinery shed, and I'll just give a tour around some of the machinery and everything that we have. Oisin Linden, would you ever substitute the 6420 for an M series tractor and keep the 6930? Probably not. I'd rather buy, if I was ever going to buy a fresher John Deere, would be an R series. I don't really like the M series. They're like the SE model that used to be available, like when the 6420 was for sale. When we were buying it, we could have bought it like an SE model. It was a cheaper version, and I had no interest in buying it either. I know the M series now have got a little bit more in the lines of electrics and things on it that weren't in the past on the cheaper John Deere's, but I'd still rather go for the R series. So yeah, I hope that answers that. What else have we got? Paul O'Grady, would you do a tour of the farm and your machinery? I will. I'll do a machinery tour coming in the next couple of weeks, Paul. Mark Lochran, hello Jerry. Have you only got one David Brown? Well, actually no, we have 3 David Browns in total. We have that 995 that is in a lot of the videos, and then we have 2 other restoration projects to go along with the 2130 restoration. We have 2 990s, 2 different 990s. One's a 6-speed and the other's a 12-speed. More or less from the same era. Yeah, they're like a David Brown 990 Select-O-Matic from the late 60s. So yeah, that's hopefully we've been kind of putting off doing the restoration of them and the 2130, but it's getting to the point where we're going to have to either do them or we'd be selling them. We can rent them and let somebody else do them. So yeah, that's what we have in the lines of David Browns. Sean O'Brien, a tour on the teleporter please. I will. I've done a couple of tours just on the controls of the 6930 and the 6420 earlier in the year, and the 2850. So I'll maybe do a similar kind of tour on the teleporter as well, maybe over the next few weeks. What else have we got here now in the lines of questions? How many cows are you calving and how many cattle are you finishing? We have 51 cows to calve this year, and we're finishing 200 head this year. It's actually slightly more to finish this year than last year. Last year we had about less than 160, it was 150 odd. But we actually have more finishing cattle this year and less younger stock. So we'll see how that works out. We bought the finishing cattle banking on that the price would rise, but it hasn't took much of a lift yet. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Price doesn't rise this year, we'll have a lot less finishing cattle for next year, so we'll see. Hontep has asked me question and answer. If you had to replace the 6930 and the 6420 directly for a different tractor brand, what would they be? So that's a different make altogether. Probably if I wasn't going for John Deere, I would... That's a good question. I'm not a Massey fan, so I wouldn't buy a Massey. So possibly, probably a Fendt, even though they are probably working out a little bit more expensive than the John Deere's. I would say a Fendt would be my first choice, and second choice then would be either a toss-up between New Holland and a Case. Probably New Holland first and then a Case afterwards. I do like New Holland would probably be my next choice for the equivalent size as a 6, like the big 4-cylinder and a big 6-cylinder, then like a 180 horsepower 6-cylinder. So that's the answer to that. So just driving back to the yard here now, and we've dropped off our bales, got rid of those, and we'll answer a couple more questions. Ono Hell, any plans for further expansion? Not really, no. There's like the new cattle shed's up over 12 months now at this stage, and if we had to know now what we know then, we never would have put the shed up. Not with the way cattle prices would have went. It was an investment that would not have been made, that's for sure. But look, it's made at this stage. We're not going to pull it down. We're going to have to see how things goes over the next 12 months or so with the Brexit happening and all that. Excuse me. So at the minute, no plans for further expansion. Maybe if we got a few more acres, I might take them. Could take maybe 20 acres, 30 acres, and put them into cereal. But other than that, that's about the height of it. Down the line, I would like to put up another shed down in front of the cattle shed that went up last year. I'd like to put up like a large, just like a large shed that you could use for storing machinery in, maybe some straw and hay, and have a couple of pens of it, maybe pen a few pens out that you could throw 6 or 8 cows and calves into when they calve, or a few maybe lame animals, something like that, you know. So but things will want to improve drastically before we'll be making any more investments like that. Now let's see, what else have we got. Are you going to buy a trail shoe or double bow, and if so, which would you prefer? And that question comes from Pa Muffy. Pa, we are not making any plans just yet to buy a dribble bar or a trail shoe. Probably a dribble bar would do fine for what we do. But look, it is something that we are going to have to think about. If this rule is definitely coming in that we're going to have to be, if we're going to have to use a trail shoe or dribble bar, we will need to invest in something. If it's going to be law that you're going to have to get rid of the splash plate, we will probably have to do something. Don't think I'd probably just maybe buy one. You can get, I know, is it Slurry Quip makes a fair good looking one. They retrofit them on to your existing tanker if you have a good tanker. So who knows, maybe we might get in touch with them and see if they'd like to do something on that, or maybe we'll see what happens in the future. Would you buy a Massey Ferguson? That comes from Jack, is it Rylahan? No, I'm not a Massey fan, unfortunately. Nothing against them as such, but just never really was a Massey fan. The last Massey that I was a fan of was the 390T. I love those, but after that I know nothing about the new Masseys. So let's see now, what else have we got? Just looking down through, see who's written us. Keith Dullahan, what's your favourite tractor of all time? Shout out for me, please. Good man, Keith. Keith, my favourite tractor is 3650, as I mentioned earlier on, which I'd like to get at some point in the future, maybe, who knows. What else? AM Agri, what type of hours are on your tractors? That's a good question. Teleporter Rin now has about 7,200 hours. The 2850 has got about 12,000 hours on it, roughly, in or around. 6420 has 6,000 hours, and the 6930 has 4 odd. I think it's about 4. It could be about 4.5, maybe 4.3, something like that. I can't just remember off the top of my head. But I hope that answers your question. Dave Kroll, what type? Oh, sorry. Is it Dave Kroll? Yeah, Dale Kroll. Sorry. What would be your dream tractor if you had the money? If I had the money, a mint 3650. That's, you can see the 3650 is the team here. They're a tractor just when I was younger. You didn't see them that often. There was a lot of 2850s, 3050s, even some 3350s around our area, but you didn't see many 3650s. So that's why I always had a thing for them. So. And I see, is there any more? Just scrolling back up to see if I've missed any good questions that I could have O'Donoghue, I agree. He asked another question. Show us the 2130 in its current state. I will do that. I am going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to maybe do that in the next day or so. What else have we got? Liam Roach, what's your thoughts on the beef prices and a tour of the 995 and a shout out please? So good man Liam, thanks for the question. Thoughts on the beef prices is I think they could pay a lot more. I think that they're using Brexit as an excuse. They're using the fact that sterling is at a fairly strong rate against the euro as an excuse. Beef prices are up right across the board worldwide. The fact that China had that issue with the pork meant that they were then in serious need of filling that void, and they were doing so with beef. And they're taking some from Europe, they're taking a lot from Brazil, which means that beef prices are up across the board, and we should be getting more. It's up. They're up in the UK. They're up in all over Europe, and we're still stuck. They give us 10 cents there before Christmas back. It was actually, what was it, beginning of December, and it was slow to come. When it was announced, it took nearly 2 weeks for it to filter through. They could pay more. It's a matter of just keeping their foot on our necks. So yeah, don't get me started on it. What else have we got? Anthony Farming. Good man, Anthony. Anthony runs a YouTube channel as well. Would you consider stopping beef farming if the prices don't improve? If so, what would you do with the land? P.S. Love the horses. Right, thanks, Anthony. Look at I don't want to. I would have to consider. So we will have to consider cutting the numbers drastically if the price doesn't improve. You can't work for nothing. We have worked for nothing. Last year we had a year of losses. We can't sustain that year after year. You'll get away with it for so long. So yeah, we will have to do something. I don't know what to do with the land going forward. I don't know, maybe we'll move into the sheep or dairy or something like that. Who knows? But that'll be drastic, and it'll be more investment. So we'll see. We'll play it by ear for another 6 or 8 months before we're going to see what we're going to do. 6 months anyway. We'll see after that. Just looking through here now and see if there's anything else. Goldfire, Jerry, would you, Farmer Phil, and I Farm, We Farm come together for a wee chat? Just something to think about. You're doing a great job, Jerry6420. So, thanks, Goldfire. Goldfire comments on a lot of my videos as well. Maybe that could be something we might do in the future. Myself, Farmer Phil, and I Farm, We Farm might get together and do something. Yeah, it'd be a bit like Dino, George Saunders, and Podge Muck or Lord Muck. So, yeah, who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Farmer Phil, actually, he commented as well. Was there much of a backlash from the vegans when you put the video up clipping the cattle? There was a huge backlash from the vegans. And there still is. The comments actually don't show up. When a video is up a certain length of time, the comments don't show up in your feed or don't show up in your... But if every now and again I go in, it's a video I put up, it's a couple of years ago now, and it's got like 3.5 million views, it just kind of went viral. I don't know why it went viral, but it went viral. There's nothing special about it. It's just headgear was on. There's no talking in it actually. It's just me clipping the cattle, and it's just we were going about our walk. It's about 7 minutes long, and the comments. Some of the comments I did reply to some of them and give them a bit of guff back, just for the laugh. But some of the comments on it is just you really should go on and have a look at it. It's called Cattle Walk, and if you click it in, it usually shows up fairly early in it. You should want to look at some of the comments on it. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, that's it. So yeah, that was that, Farmer Phil. Let's see. Bob Patterson. Wouldn't mind seeing the Clydesdales in daylight. Jerry, my father was a really good horseplowman back in the day, and I always had a soft spot for them. I'll do some more videos on them, and I'll see. I really should do a video of Dad getting his harness out, harnessing them up, and even putting them in the cart or something like that. I'll just do a whole video and I'll get him maybe to do a bit of talking about it too, because he is a hell of a he's a good passion for the old horse walk, and more so than me, I do go along to some of the shows and give them a help out, you know, especially if my uncle wasn't able to go, and you know, that's kind of when I step in. But yeah, that's maybe something we'll do in the future. Thomas Kavanagh, looks like you have a great setup for dairy. Have you ever considered it, especially with the way beef has gone the past couple of years? Was it always beef, or had you ever sheep, etc.? And are you running on your own? Hats off to you. You've very well maintained the yard and machinery. Looks very impressive. Keep up the good work. Thanks very much, Thomas. The dairy and the investment is the biggest issue. We have now got a lot of our land is now more or less all beside the house. So we have 60 acres there that we could use for grazing in the summer. You could zero graze some of it as well. You could run a dairy now from here. You know, it's something that we have actually talked about in the last 6 or 8 months. But it's just hard to know. It's the investment would be the biggest issue. I know. We have sheds here. You could convert some of them, you could walk them, but it'll be a huge step, and it's not one we're prepared to do at the minute. So we'll just have to see how the whole beef thing goes. It really needs to change, or there will be a lot of people quitting the beef over the next 12 to 18 months, so you can including ourselves. So we'll just have to see. So I think that's really about it. We've been through quite a few questions, and the video will be definitely long enough. Hope you enjoy this Q&A. It's the first Q&A. I might do another Q&A now in the next number of weeks, maybe when we're walking in the yard or doing something in the yard, or doing a bit of tractor driving. I'll set it up, get it going, and we'll do it live, and we can have a bit of a chat forward and back that way, and we'll walk it that way. I did enjoy doing the live stream during the week, even though it wasn't just set up properly. It was only just going on the phone. Hadn't got it going on the GoPro properly. So yeah, that's really it. As always, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the video if you aren't already subscribed. Leave a comment down below, and of course like the video as well if you like the video. So we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.